am so happy that you're here. I'm Teresa, and I guide women in discovering what they're meant to do and empower them to find a fulfilling career. I am tuning in live here from Hawaii. I'm originally from Germany, but I'm so lucky to be calling Hawaii my home for the last 14 years. If you are here and tuning in, please go say hi in the chat. Let me know that you can see and hear me. I always want to make sure my tech is working. And share with us where you're tuning in from. Because if you don't say hi in the chat, I don't even know that you're here. So I would love for you to say hi and introduce yourself. And I am so glad that you are here today, because today we're going to be talking about 7 ChatGPT prompts that you need to make a career change. Now, I chose that topic today because everyone has been talking about ChatGPT, right? Like, if our streams are filled with topics about ChatGPT. And last week I did a live on how to find your perfect career path with ChatGPT after I've had really great success using it with clients. And the feedback has been overwhelming in the best possible way. So I got a ton of questions, and so I decided I'm going to do another live on the same topic today to answer these specific questions and give you 7 more powerful ways to use ChatGPT to find your ideal career. All right, awesome. Hi, Julie. Great to see you here. Great to see you, Harpreet. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, Jeffrey from Vancouver. Awesome. Love seeing all of you here. Thanks for joining me. So, if you've been following me before, you know that my background is that I've been in management, human resources, and recruiting, and I was really unhappy in my career. It just wasn't aligned with who I am. But I was stuck in it because I just didn't know what else I could be doing. And I didn't know how to make a career change. And I truly believe that if ChatGPT would have existed, like, let's say 7 years ago, and I would have known how to properly use it, I would have felt more prepared to make a career change. Not saying that ChatGPT or artificial intelligence in general is perfect, has a tons of flaws, but I feel like it would have given me some of the tools that I was lacking in order to find my ideal career path. Because I had a lot of fear of the unknown. Like, I wasn't sure what a new different career could look like, and I didn't think I was good enough to do something else, or that I had what it takes to make a career change. I thought I don't have skills outside of recruiting, and that's the only thing I can do. So I didn't see how I can transfer my skills to something else. And I truly think that ChatGPT would have been able to give me some of the tools to help me research other career paths and help me see how I can translate my skills to a different career. But ChatGPT didn't exist back then, so it took me another 7 years to finally find what I am meant to do and make a career change and find a career I absolutely love. And now that I know that's possible for you too. And that's why I'm here today and sharing these tools with you. I love seeing everyone tuning in here. We have someone from Minnesota. Hi there. Hi, May. Love seeing you. Thanks for joining. Hi, Vince. Oh, cool. Thanks for being here. Awesome. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining in. So let's get right into it. So for those of you, not everyone has used ChatGPT before, and you don't need to know this program or this tool at all in order to follow along today. ChatGPT is a computer program that can understand and respond to questions in human language. So it's kind of like talking to a real person, except that you're talking to a robot. But it has been trained on a ton of information, so it can provide helpful answers to pretty much any questions, including questions on our career. Yay, Laura! I'm excited that you're here. Woohoo! All right. So I am going to be sharing my screen again today because that just makes things a little bit easier with ChatGPT. So let me go ahead and make that bring you onto my screen share here. Okay. You should be able to see my screen now. Can you drop a yes in the chat if you can see the screen well? I think we can. Okay, awesome. All right. So last week we talked about how to find an ideal career path. And if you missed last week's live, I'm gonna just send me a DM and I will send you the link to it. Awesome. Thanks, Mason. Thanks, Vince. Thanks, Laura. Thanks, Julie. Awesome. You guys are the best. If you missed last week's live, thanks for asking, Vince. Yes, I will share this after. If you want a copy of the slides, send me a DM. Just say, send me a copy of the slides, please. And if you want the link to last week's live on how to use ChatGPT to find your ideal career path, also just put that in the DM and I will send that right to you. Awesome. So last week, and I think if I remember correctly, that was actually Julie's question. Let me know if that was your question last week. But she asked, can I use ChatGPT to also research ideal employers? And the answer is yes. I've been playing around with that since I got this question. So if you haven't used ChatGPT before, you go to chat.openai.com, and right down here is where you enter your prompt and hit enter. And then it responds to you like almost like a human would, minus the human touch, right? So the first question is, now what can we do to prompt ChatGPT to give us a list of target employers? Let's say you want to make a career change and you want to find a list of employers that you can target with your job search and for your networking efforts. Here's a prompt you can use, and I like to use long prompts and very specific prompts because the better the input, the better the output, right? Awesome. Thanks, Julie, for confirming. I love that you asked last week. Anyone who has any questions today, drop them in the chat. I will answer them now, or like in Julie's case, if I didn't have the right answer, I will research it and might bring that in as a topic for next week. So if you want to find your target employers, you first have to get crystal clear on what it is that you're looking for, right? Because you need to create a good input. So the general input I have been using that works really well is provide a list of 12 companies in the whatever industry that provide, and then you add the list of values and characteristics that you're looking for. Here's a live example of how this looks like. So I entered, provide a list of 12 companies in the event planning industry that allow their employees to work remotely, promote equity, diversity, and inclusion, provide generous paid time off, offer advancement opportunities, and are recognized for a positive workplace culture and value teamwork and collaboration. Now, you see, I've gotten really specific here in what I am looking for. And to my surprise, ChatGPT came back with a pretty good reply. So he said, here are 12 companies in the event planning industry that meet the criteria you have specified. Eventbrite, Cvent, Bizabo, and so on. Each of these companies has a reputation for promoting equity, diversity, and inclusion, offering generous paid time off, and the other things I was looking for. Now, again, I don't think you should take that as the end-all be-all answer. I think it is a great starting point for further research. So the next step I would take would be to go to Eventbrite's website and look into the company and see, is that really something that matches with what I'm looking for? If it is, then I would go to LinkedIn, find people who work there, and start a conversation with them and ask them if what Eventbrite puts out on their website, what they put out to the front, is how employees truly feel when they actually work there. So again, not the end-all be-all answer, but an amazing starting point for research. We can also do something similar here, and this is a second way to approach finding your top 12 employers. So let's say you have a dream employer. You're like, oh, this company I've always wanted to work for. That would be my absolute dream company. So then you can enter, my dream employer is, enter the company name, provide a list of 12 companies in the same industry that also offer the list of values and characteristics you are looking for. And you can use what it is, why, the reasons why you want to work for your dream employer. Okay, let's go into an example here as well. So let's say your dream employer is Patagonia. That's a company you're like, oh, I would die to work for them. So creating an input here. My dream employer is Patagonia. Provide a list of 12 other companies in the same industry that also have an employee-focused company culture centered around environmental sustainability, social responsibility, and work-life balance. Now let's see what ChatGPT replies. He gives us 12 companies. You can only see the first 5 here, but the output is 12 companies. REI, which totally aligns with Patagonia. So I love that that was the first response. The North Face, Mountain Equipment, Eileen Fisher, and B Lab. And it doesn't even just give us the names of the companies. Here, ChatGPT even includes a description. So for REI, it says a company that sells outdoor gear and apparel. REI is known for its focus on environmental sustainability, social responsibility, and work-life balance. The company offers its employees a range of benefits, including flexible scheduling, paid time off for volunteering, and a comprehensive wellness program. So this is giving me another great starting point to go now and research that further. Again, I would take this a step further. I would not say this is 100% correct or I believe what ChatGPT says, but 100%. I mean, it might get things wrong, right? But it gives me such a great starting point to now talk to employees at these companies and learn more about them. Drop a thumbs up or a yes in the comment if you think this is a great way of using ChatGPT, or if you have any questions, drop them into the chat. I'd love to hear some feedback, what you think about this use of ChatGPT. All right. So now that we looked into what companies ChatGPT can help us identify, let's see if it can also help us. Woohoo! Thank you, Vince. I love hearing that. It's really cool, right? Isn't it? Yes. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Love this. This is brilliant. Yeah, I think so too. ChatGPT can be pretty brilliant. So identifying job titles your skills might transfer to. Here's a prompt you can use for that, right? Because that is one of the things that held me stuck in recruiting, because I didn't see how I can transfer my skills somewhere else. So I thought, okay, let's ask ChatGPT and see what he comes back with. Let's say for the prompt, we're going to use I'm a enter job title in the so-and-so industry. Provide 5 job titles that I can transfer my skills to that provide the characteristics and values you're looking for. Oh, hey, Myrnis, love seeing you here. Thanks for tuning in. Yay. All right. So let's look at a live example here. My input here was, and I used this example, no, that wasn't the example I used last time. So that's a different one. I'm an account manager in the healthcare industry. And so I was like, okay, let me see what happens if I input something that I hear a lot from clients or potential clients or people I talk to, because they're so upset about their job and they can tell me all the things they hate about it. But sometimes they don't know what else they're looking for. So I was like, let me input a really human input of something I get to hear a lot. So that sounds like I'm an account manager in the healthcare industry and dread my job. My job does not challenge me. I feel undervalued or underpaid, and I'm miserable in this job. Provide 5 job titles that I can transfer my skills to that provide a better work-life balance, more growth opportunities, and options for remote work. And ChatGPT does not mind at all the human-like input of how much we dread and hate our job. He's actually really nice. He says, I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling undervalued and unhappy in your current role. Here are 5 potential job titles that may be a good fit for your skills and interests. Medical sales rep, healthcare consultant, medical writer, healthcare project manager. Great input, and it gives us a little bit information about each of those positions. This can help us again to start our research, right? Now, if we read it and say like, man, I've never thought about being a healthcare consultant. That sounds kind of really cool. Why don't I find a healthcare consultant? And it's easy to do on LinkedIn, right? We can just search for healthcare consultants and talk to someone and see what their job looks like on a day-to-day basis. And then I can ask them, okay, what skills do I need here? What would I need to learn to transition into this field if it's something that sparks my interest? So another really cool way how ChatGPT can help us start our research. And that brings us to prompt number 4, identifying in-demand skills. So what if I want to transition in? I know what I want to be, but I don't know how I'm going to get there. So let me find what skills I need to become that. And the prompt here we're going to use are, what are the top 10 skills I need as a job title? Example, and this is the one I shared last week when I shared Choi's story. She became a marketing project manager. So we asked that prompt here, what are the top 10 skills I need as a marketing project manager? As a marketing project manager, here are the top 10 skills you should possess to excel in your job. Project management, strategic thinking, digital marketing, communication, leadership, analytical skills, creativity, problem solving. So now, if I'm making a career change and I come from a different industry, this gives me a good big overview of like, okay, have I ever done this? You can start thinking like, okay, have I ever managed a project in the past? Strategic thinking. Okay, you must be able to think strategically and develop marketing strategies that align with company goals and target customer needs. It's very broad, but I can start thinking like, okay, what in my past have I done where I had to think strategically? And could that translate to being in marketing? Same for the other skills. You can also, obviously, always with ChatGPT, the more input you give or the more specific questions you ask, the better the output. So now the next thing I would do here is, okay, strategic thinking. I would say I'm not quite sure if I've ever done this in the past. My next prompt could be, can you give me 10 examples of what strategic thinking looks like in a certain position in a certain type role? So let's say I'm a research analyst. Can you give me 10 examples of tasks or responsibilities a research analyst has where they have to think strategically? And now it's giving me more ideas. I'm like, and that might help me think like, oh yeah, this is what I could think about. Oh yeah, I have done this. This could translate. And if I tell it in this way, it might apply to someone hiring for a marketing project manager role. So another awesome example here. Now we're moving on to prompt number 5, creating a career plan. And this is in line with what the prompt we just used. So let's now say like, okay, I've done my research. I know this is the career I want to transition into. We're going to ask ChatGPT, write a 5-year career plan for me. I am currently a job title in the industry, and whatever it is that you do. My goal is to become a job title in the so-and-so industry. And this is another question I got last time, because last time I shared Choi's story, and she went from being a research analyst into a marketing manager role. And I've gotten questions like, how did she do that? What were her transferable skills? Did she have any background in marketing? So this gives you a little bit more background about what her story was. And we didn't use the 5-year career plan because she made a transition within 2 months. But if you were to be in her shoes and say like, no, I want to transition there in 5 years, obviously you could ask him for a 2-year or 3-year career plan as well. But here's the question that I put in. Write a 5-year career plan for me. I'm currently a research analyst in the consumer goods industry, specifically in home decor. I analyze consumer behavior, market trends, and product performance to help companies develop new products and marketing strategies. My goal is to become a marketing manager in the consumer good industries and promote clothing products. So this person here wants to make 2 changes. She wants to go from a research analyst to a marketing manager. She wants to stay in the consumer goods industry, but she wants to transition from home decor into clothing products. So let's say what ChatGPT comes back with. Here's a 5-year career plan to help you achieve your goal of becoming a marketing manager in the consumer goods industry, specifically promoting clothing products. And it breaks it down over the 5 years. So it starts year 1, let's develop a strong understanding of the clothing industry and consumer behavior for this product category. network with marketing managers and directors in the consumer goods industry, attend industry conference and events, and seek opportunities to lead marketing project within your current role as a research analyst. So this is really, really cool, and it gives you ideas for year 2 and year 3, year 4, and year 5 that can really spark your inspiration of, oh yeah, I can see this path forward. I can see how I can make this change. Not saying that every bullet point here is perfect and this is exactly what you need to do, but it can really help you, give you ideas of all the things you could do. And then you could come back with a prompt and be like, can you give me a list of industry conference or events that I could attend? Maybe ChatGPT, and I'm pretty sure he would come back with a list of where you could at least look for one. Again, ChatGPT is not 100% up to date on anything in the last 2 years. It has limited information. It does not know about current events. I know we talked about that last week. So it would not, I assume, come back with industry conferences that are happening right now. But from using it quite a bit, I would think it says like, okay, here are places you can research or look for to find industry events. Or you could ask, like, give me examples of how I can seek opportunities to lead marketing project within my current role as a research analyst. And it gives you more ideas, right? So this is all to spark your inspiration and spark your ability to see what's possible. If you're still here with me, and drop something in the comment, let me know what you're thinking about these prompts. Do you find them useful? Do you have any questions at all? Is it something you can see yourself using? I'd love to hear your feedback here again. And then it's time to move into the last prompt here, prompt number 7. Now, let's say we've done all this research with ChatGPT. We know what position we want to pursue. We know what companies we want to target. Yay, thank you, Vince. I appreciate it. Oh, cool. Love to hear that. What is possible, right? A lot. So let's say we've done all this research, but we're like, okay, I need to start connecting with people on LinkedIn to actually make this transition and learn more about it. Cool. Love hearing that. This is really neat. Great idea. Thank you. Love the feedback. So in the end, I really think ChatGPT can be a great tool if you use the right prompts, but it will never replace talking to a human. So I don't think there's any way to make a career change. Well, not any way, but the best way to make a career change, or the most successful way, is to talk to people. And when I talk about networking, I approach that as building genuine relationships with people who do the work that you'd love to do, and lead those conversations driven by your curiosity and by your interest. So if I want to becoming a marketing manager and I'm totally fascinated, let's say I want to move into social media marketing, and I'm totally fascinated by everything that's happening in the social media space and all the marketing strategies that I've been learning about and reading about, I would come from a place of very genuine curiosity if I talk to someone doing that on a day-to-day basis. And I would naturally have hundreds of questions I would want to ask them, be like, okay, what do you do every day? And how is this working? Have you ever tried this? What are new trends that you're seeing? And that's the way of networking that works, right? We don't want to be like kind of fake and be like, do you know if anyone's hiring or has a job? That kind of makes a very awkward introduction into networking. So the first step, we need to connect with people on LinkedIn to start those networking conversations. If we don't know what to say, and I know it can feel weird reaching out to a stranger, well, let's ask ChatGPT on how we can approach this. So we're gonna ask ChatGPT. Oh, I just totally skipped one ahead. Yeah, I just skipped the one ahead. We're gonna go back. I somehow have 7 prompts. Oh, I was doing this presentation late last night. I don't know what I was. My counting to 7 was off. We're gonna go back to the one before after. Okay, so we want to connect with someone on LinkedIn. We want to write a message for a connection request. So we're gonna start, because we only have 300 characters in a connection request message. Write a note with less than 300 characters to personalize my invitation to connect with. Enter the name on LinkedIn. She is a job title, at company. We're both find something you have in common, and I want to connect with her for your goal. So easy peasy, what we're going to enter here is write a note with less than 300 characters to personalize my invitation to connect with Eric on LinkedIn. He's a brand innovation strategist at UCH Health. We're both University of Northern Colorado alumni. I want to connect with him to learn more about working at his current company. Now, of course, the response is short because we asked for less than 300 characters. It says, "Hi, Eric. As a fellow UNC alum, I'd love to connect and hear more about your experience as a brand innovation strategist at UC Health. Looking forward to learning from you." I think that is a fine connection request message you can use in LinkedIn to connect with Eric. And the chance that he's going to respond and accept your connection request are a ton better than if you send your connection request without this message. Okay, let's go back to the prompt that I somehow entered here as a second 7th step. What if let's go back to, I think this is the Patagonia example, right? Yeah, so going back to the example from Patagonia, let's say we're like, oh my God, I would love to work for this company, but I don't see any openings in my field. What if I could just email one of the managers in the department and ask them for consideration for any job opportunities that might have now or in the future? It would be hard to just write this email if you're not very confident in writing cold emails, which most of us probably are not, on finding the right words. So let's ask ChatGPT for help. What we're going to input here is write an email that I can send to hiring managers at company, asking them to consider me for any openings for job title in department they may have today or in the future. So here we go with what ChatGPT comes back with. Write an email that I can send to hiring managers at Patagonia, asking them to consider me for any openings for senior level positions in product development they may have today or in the future. ChatGPT comes back with a pretty long email. Now, in this case, the email is good, but it could be better. So when you use this, I would highly recommend to use that as a starting point, but to really make it yours, because you're trying to make a personal connection with this hiring manager and really show who you are. So I would bring in more of your personality here and rewrite this in a way that it's you. And obviously, ChatGPT makes some assumptions here that you need to update with yours. So it says, I have over 10 years experience in the apparel industry. Now, that might not be true. So you change that to what is true for you. And then it gives you some examples. In my most recent role, I was responsible for leading the development of a sustainable and ethical product line. Maybe you have, maybe you have not. But you can rewrite that to what is true for you. Again, we never want to put out anything that is not true in the job search. We always want to be very authentic. It wants to be us. So that's also the catch with ChatGPT. If you use that language in communicating with someone else, it's not you. It's not your language. It's not your personality. And that is going to hold you back from actually making connections with people. So use it as a starting point, but not as the final solution. But it can really help if you have an idea of what this email could look like, and then you just write it in your own words. All right, so that was my last prompt for today. Drop your comments in the chat. Let me know what you're thinking about these last two, if it's something you could see yourself using. Do you have any questions? Anything else you want to figure out how we can use ChatGPT for that I can address in next week's live? Let me know. And overall, I really want to put out there that I think artificial intelligence is pretty amazing what it can do. I mean, just these prompts, and there's so much more, right? Like, I mean, we're just talking about career here. You can get me used for almost anything. But again, it also has its limitations. It is really a computer algorithm that if we provide a good input, it provides us with an output. But I can never replace human intuition, insight, or guidance. I really don't ever think it can. It might give us some ideas of what a job looks like, but it can never replace talking to someone who actually does this job and having that conversation and getting the insight into what this really looks day to day. So while AI can be a valuable tool, it's remember that it is best used in conjunction and not as a replacement for human guidance and support. So again, like, use it as a starting point for your research, but then start talking to people. Let it help you make your outreach easier, or let it help you form those connections by finding the right words to reach out to a stranger. But then be yourself, be authentic. Okay, I'm looking for resources as how ChatGPT can tailor existing resumes to match with job postings to help get through ATS. Great questions. I'm gonna drop some prompts in here that, that I did not mean to share. Vince, I'm gonna get back to that in a second. I'm gonna go through the last slide here, and then we're gonna go back to your question on resumes. So, yes, use ChatGPT wisely, give him good inputs, and then use it as a starting point for your research, and talk to actual humans, because they can't be replaced. And if you're in a position that you want to find a career that really makes you happy, if you want to make a career change and find the work you are meant to do, I invite you to join my Career Clarity Challenge. It is starting in less than 2 weeks, and it's going to be super duper amazing. So I'm going to spend 5 days with you. Every day there's going to be a live coaching sessions, unlimited Q&A. We have an awesome challenger community. And in those 5 days, you will discover the career you're meant to do. And we're going to end it with creating an action plan to turn that into reality. Because one day, what I truly want for you is that one day you're going to look back on your career filled with joy because you did exactly what you were meant to do. That is what you deserve, and that's what's possible for you. I really want you to find the career that is meant for you. I know it's possible because I found it, even though I thought it's not possible. I thought I'm going to be a recruiter for the rest of my life. I'm going to be hating my job. But I made a career change and found what I absolutely love to do. And you can do that too. So I would love for you to join my Career Clarity Challenge. I promise it's going to be a ton of fun. And you're going to get crystal clear on what you are meant to do step by super fun step. And this is only for the people joining this live. You get to use, if you sign up this week, I have a VIP enrollment this week. And this week only, use Career 27 is the discount code, and you're getting a 30% discount, and you can join for only $27. But you have to use it before April 7th. So if you want to sign up, you can scan the QR code on the top left of your screen, or go to bit.ly/career clarity challenge. And I would so love to see you there, because I know it's going to be an awesome week, and you're going to have so much fun, and you're going to get so much out of it. It's going to be a huge weight off your shoulders if you finally know what it is you truly want to do with your career. Love seeing you here, Andrew. Thanks for joining in. Laura has a great question too. Have you tried asking it to write a message in a certain tone? I've heard of folks asking ChatGPT to produce an email, a message, or article based on the tone of another message. Yes, Laura, I have. Okay, let me stop my screen share here. I'm going to answer these 2 questions. I'm going to pull up the exact message that I entered into ChatGPT before. I think I saved that somewhere. Where do we have it? Okay, I'm not sure if I actually saved it. Might not have. No, this is not it. Not it. Okay. No, I have not saved it. But I did play around with it. So I did ask it, like, use a writing style that speaks to the heart of the audience, that is very engaging, that uses examples, that is lively. Or I've also then put in the same prompt and asked, okay, now write in a very professional style. Act as a recruiter, write in a very professional style, write in a style that a job posting would be written. Or I asked, I've also asked it, and I don't think he's actually very funny, ChatGPT, but I asked it, act as a comedian and give me a very funny answer to this question. It wasn't that funny, so I didn't use it. But yes, Laura, we can definitely chat more. So and what you can do too is you can, if you've, let's say you've written an email before and you like the tone of that email or the voice of that email, you put that email into ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, now in detail, describe to me the writing style of this article. Then it gives you a detailed description of this writing style. And now you can be like, okay, here's the writing style I would like you to write an email in the same style. And it'll come back with something that's pretty usable. Andrew, I did not know that. You're one of the funniest people I know. Okay, this just made my day, Andrew. Thank you. I don't think I'm that funny, so I love hearing that. And then I want to get back to Vince to answer that question about the resume. So, and this could be live in itself, because resumes and ATS, there is so much stuff here. Okay, where do I have my prompts that I was using for a resume? Give me just a second. Okay. Someone drop something funny into the to the chat while we're waiting here. Keep the conversation going. Why can't I find it? There we go. Thank you so much. Thanks, Winston. Where's my ChatGPT? Yep. All right. Okay, this is gonna take a second while I pull this, get these prompts together so I can actually share them. But what I'm gonna do here, and then we can read them as we go, I think I can drop them in as a caption. Perfect. So here's one prompt that you can use for a resume. And I can, again, send me a DM for anything that you need. Andrew, you're always making me laugh. Thank you. You're so funny. Okay, back to the resume. Write me a third-person, one-paragraph bio for my resume for the following job description. And then you enter the job description. You can also insert what you would like to include or highlight. Here is another one resume you can use. How should I state I am? Insert what you need support with. How should I state that I am really good at doing this, this, or that? Can give you a great prompt. And then you can also enter your current resume. And then you can enter your job description and ask, can you please tailor this resume for to match this job description? Or you can say, can you make this any stronger for my resume for job title? Here's what I have so far. So if you're like, that is me, I often write like a bullet point that I think that's good, but it could be better. So this is one that I have used in the past, is for, and not just for resumes, for anything. Can you make this any stronger for my resume? And then give him what I'm looking for, and here's what I have so far, and make it like this much better. And actually what he comes back with is not bad. Again, I always change it up. I would never use it word by word, what he comes back with, but you can refine it. I'm gonna share two more here. Oops. Restate the resume bullet following Google's results-focused bullet formula of achieved X by Y by Z formula. So that's a formula that's often used in resumes, and it's really effective. And if you give ChatGPT this input, it will change your bullet point to match this formula. So this is another really awesome one. And then the last one here I'm going to share with you is Yes, because we can be long-winded, right? And we want to cut our resume down to something a little bit shorter. Rewrite the sentence to be as short as possible without losing the result. Insert resume bullet point. And I actually have used ChatGPT for that in the past. If I wrote an email or a message and I was like, ugh, this is way too long-winded, I put that into ChatGPT and be like, can you make this, shorten this by half the characters? And it really condenses it down. Again, I always have to tweak it again in the end, but it's such a great starting point to like, okay, I can see what I can cut out here. Okay, now another question. Will ChatGPT help you to write a job description that is authentic and empowering? Yes and no, Andrew. I think so. You can definitely, I would say, like, you can, the better the input, the better the output. So if you give ChatGPT, if you just say like, hey ChatGPT, write me a job description for a marketing manager, gonna be super generic and nothing you would probably want to use. Now you can add more information, like write a job description for a marketing manager that is who is going to be doing X, Y, and Z, and be very specific in what you're looking for and what you want them to do. The output is going to be better. Can you write this message in an empowering tone of voice? ChatGPT probably would change that and make it more empowering. Now, authentic, I think this is a catch here because authentic is who we are. And nothing that ChatGPT writes for us can truly be authentic. Even if you're very smart in how we enter our prompt and ask for what we want to hear, it's not going to be our words. It's not going to be us. So I would say my personal opinion here, and other opinions might vary, but I would say an output by ChatGPT is not going to be authentic. I always change. I never use it word by word what he puts out. I change into my voice to make it me. It gives me good starting point and good inspiration to start with. Maybe create a content carousel of this work for our students and credit you on Instagram. You absolutely can, Vince, and I will just send you my slides. I'm also going to be posting these slides probably in the next couple of weeks sometime as a carousel. So you are more than welcome, and I'd love if you credit me. I'm on Instagram too, so you can tag me there right here. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, connect with me. Always just started Instagram, so I'm really, really small and love to grow there. And what about wellness? Oh, writing a ChatGPT job description that incorporates wellness aspects. Do I understand the question right? I think you will have to tell ChatGPT how you would define wellness and what exactly you're looking for. So if you give it a good input, it will probably come back with an okay output, and then you make it yours and make it really good. All right, so these were my last thoughts on ChatGPT. I absolutely love all of you tuning in here. I had so much fun. Oh, that the company believes in wellness. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely say I would write a statement in my company really believes in wellness and workplace balance. By wellness, we define as, and then you explain what wellness means at this company. And workplace balance, we define as, and you explain what that means at this company. Please incorporate a paragraph into the job description that highlights our value or our reputation that we really believe in wellness and workplace balance. And I do think it would come back with something okay, and then you write it in your words and make it authentic and perfect for the company. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and joining me and all your amazing questions. I thought I'm gonna be live for 20 minutes, and now we're at 45 minutes. This is good. I love the discussion. Again, I would absolutely love if you would join me for the Career Clarity Challenge. I am so excited that this is starting in 2 weeks, and it's only $27. So there's so much stuff we spend $27 on, and you can spend it on finding what you're meant to do. And I promise you, we're going to have an amazing week together. And you have the chance to use code career27 to get info on $27. So don't miss out on this chance. I loved having all of you here. I hope that you have an amazing Tuesday. Thank you, Julie. Appreciate your feedback. Really appreciate you tuning in. And I'm going to be live again next Tuesday and can't wait to see all of you again there. Have